Well, art does imitate reality. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 actors who always play themselves.
Do you need to get to work or anything?
No, I'm, no work today.
For this list, we're looking at actors or actresses who seldom vanish into their roles and often portray characters comparable to their public personas. To be fair, this is not automatically a bad thing. And we're not necessarily saying that we think so, but that we understand why many others do.
We can do this, man. We can do it together.
Together.
Number 10, Michael Cera.
Yeah. Wait, what?
An accomplished child actor with a resume spanning multiple TV series, Michael Cera slipped effortlessly into George Michael Bluth's awkward teen shoes. He was perfect for the role, so much so that he spent the better part of the next decade portraying variants of the Arrested Development character.
We're getting a stretch limo.
Your mom must be pretty stoked that you're not taking me.
You're mad. Why are you mad?
The success of films like Superbad and Juno further cemented Cera as Hollywood's go-to guy for this particular role. That being said, he has shown himself capable of breaking the mold on occasion too. Nowadays, Cera no longer passes for a teenager, so the actor has slowly started to change up his filmography from the mid-2010s on.
Everybody listen up! Who took my cell phone, man? Martin, empty your pockets!
Number 9, Jennifer Aniston.
Oh my God, so what, you all just joined together to hate me? Who else was in this club?
Disregarding the sitcom's endless reruns, Friends was on the air for a decade. Every week, millions of people watched Jennifer Aniston play the self-absorbed but funny Rachel Green. The series achieved such mind-blowing levels of popularity that the actress and character became practically inseparable. Since then, Aniston has remained in the spotlight, but the famous star rarely ventures away from romantic comedies centering around a metropolitan woman with guy trouble.
My point's your point, your 3 points. That it's not unnoticed, that it was not acceptable, and that it would definitely not be tolerated.
2014's Cake proved Aniston can handle drama, but comedy obviously comes far more naturally to the actor. She did briefly shake things up in the war flick The Yellow Birds, but subsequent projects like Dumplin' brought her back to comedy. If she's gonna stick to that genre, how about some edgier comedies in the same vein as Horrible Bosses then?
See about that. Get out.
Number 8, Drew Barrymore.
I'm at his house right now.
You are?
Making her film debut at the age of 5, this American actress quickly became a bona fide child star thanks to roles in 80s films E.T. the Extraterrestrial and Firestarter.
Does your head still hurt?
In the first half of the 90s, Drew Barrymore gained a reputation for being somewhat of a rebel, and the actress's output reflected her public image. Towards the end of the decade, Barrymore shifted to portraying quirky and strong next-door girls, and since then has generally stuck to this archetype, even when playing a zombie. Hey, if you're good at something, why not make the most of it?
Once I've tasted human flesh, I can't go back.
Number 7, Owen Wilson.
Wow, now that you mention it, it is half full.
Much like his fellow frat pack buddy Vince Vaughn, Owen Wilson carved out a niche for himself in the comedy genre starting in the mid-90s.
Well, you gotta weigh the pros and the cons. Now, you're the one who hit me to that, Mr. Henry.
His go-to everyman is more often than not quirky, aloof yet genuine, mixed with that signature dry humor. While he may not have always been considered a traditional leading man thanks to his unconventional looks, Wilson has managed to nab main roles thanks to his chemistry with co-stars and ability to be relatable. But there's just so many times and ways that we can hear him exclaim,
Wow.
and wonder if the character really needs that or if it's the actor who can't seem to separate himself from saying the word. While it's true that he excels in silly comedies like Zoolander and Wedding Crashers, Wilson has shown us that he's got a dramatic side, and he can be good at it too. Let's see more of that side of him, Hollywood.
Whatever, dude. Whatever. Peace, God bless.
Number 6, Mark Wahlberg.
See, if you've got no faith in us, I'm asking you to do what I do. I'm asking you to look at all the junk and see the treasure.
Mark Wahlberg apparently has a thing for the law. Whether it's characters on the side of law enforcement or those who commit crimes, his filmography is littered with cop, soldier, and criminal roles. In real life, Wahlberg has had some run-ins with the law, so perhaps his off-screen experiences with authority figures have given him some material to work with. Heck, He even received his first Oscar nod for acting as Staff Sergeant Dignam in The Departed.
I got a question. How are you?
But let's not forget that he first made a splash as an adult star in Boogie Nights and earned praise for playing a boxer in The Fighter. Despite his spending the 2000s with big-budget action flicks and comedies, Wahlberg has shown he's got tons of range in the past, and we want to see more of it.
We can always do better. I'm gonna keep trying if you guys keep trying.
Number 5. Bruce Willis.
This is crazy. And it couldn't be more different than how I'd hoped to meet you for the first time.
Okay, put down the pitchforks. John McClane is nothing short of a legend, and nothing is going to change that.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
However, nowadays, Bruce Willis only ever seems to show up as the mobster or retired cop who's kind of a jerk. Putting aside the direct-to-DVD films where the icon sleepwalks through a performance, Willis essentially portrays the same character in Red, The Expendables, and Cop Out.
It weighs 500 pounds.
2008's What Just Happened even goes so far as to cast Willis as a parody version of himself, but the performance is not all that far removed from the actor's typical role. Meanwhile, 2019's Glass has him reprising his role from 2000's Unbreakable, and the film's reviews demonstrate that Willis has got to switch things up. Number 4. Kevin Hart.
It's common sense, James. Look, all arrows point to Martin. The only name on the board is Martin.
Regardless of whether you appreciate the comedian's shtick or not, there's no disputing the superstar's impressive box office returns. Starting out as a stand-up artist before making the leap to the big screen, audiences flock to theaters to watch Kevin Hart be Kevin Hart. And the fast-talking celebrity never fails to deliver.
That was a hippo. They're omnivorous. They're as fast as a horse over short distances, and they have the bite force of 8,100 newtons.
Often cast opposite tough and taller straight men, many of Hart's movies are merely extensions of the comedian's stand-up routine and larger-than-life personality. Honestly, do these characters even have names? We just know them as Kevin Hart.
Man, you're stuck living in a refrigerator box. Here's the bad thing. You're lonely, you're in the gutter, and you're legless.
Number 3. Seth Rogen.
Maybe it's just me, maybe I just don't give a shit. I'm just saying he deserves a beat down.
Despite being an accomplished writer, director, and producer, Seth Rogen will forever be known as that stoner dude. Popularized in Knocked Up and immortalized with Pineapple Express, Rogen's lovable slacker archetype has become his go-to persona.
We were pissing, we crossed streams.
Just don't worry about it, you know? Hey, I'm Batman, you know?
He seems so close to these types of roles that even when not cast as a stoner, most of Rogen's films tend to be weird enough to still fit the bill. Sausage Party and This Is the End were even co-written by the comedian. Rogen normally just dials the performance down for more serious roles, which are few and far between.
I honestly think tonight's the night we bust this whole thing open.
Number 2. Jason Statham.
3 men, 254 kilos. That was the deal.
What else are you supposed to do if you've got an athlete/model who can do his own stunts and on-camera fighting? The guy's multi-talented, and it'd be a waste not to use them in action movies where his looks and physical abilities can keep audiences thrilled and entertained. However, does he have to be cast as the tough anti-hero over and over again? We'd like to see him play more characters with depth, like actual human beings. He's made limited attempts at branching out, and even tried a Texan accent in Parker. Except that could have admittedly used some improvement.
When I enter an agreement with someone, terms on both sides have to be honored. If they're not and I allow that, I'm asking chaos to take control of my life.
However, it'd be nice not to expect, Jason Statham when we see he's gonna be in a film for a change. Just a reminder that for the most part at least, we're not saying it's a bad thing that these people are often typecast to play characters like themselves. These are all actors whose movies we love. But, if Seth Rogen weren't playing a stoner, we would at least be mildly surprised, right? No shade. Anyway, number 1 is a tough guy actor who's been at it for decades. Before we find out who that is, let's look at some honorable mentions.
Dots and dashes used.
I know what Morse code is, Murph. I just don't think your bookshelf's trying to talk to you.
Ooh. You hear that?
What?
This is my favorite song. This is Sonic Youth doing Superstar by the Carpenters.
By the way, I'm going to Essence Fest this weekend with my girls. We about to tire up, so I'm gonna need Friday off.
Okay.
And once more, we play our dangerous game. A game of chess against our old adversary, the American Navy.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Sylvester Stallone.
Those fans out there declaring a rematch in your fans here.
Certain performers are too recognizable to completely disappear into a new role. Equally adored for both Rocky and Rambo, two films that showcase the actor's versatility, Sylvester Stallone gradually grew synonymous with tough guy personas. With the exception of Copland, Sly is nearly always cast as a wisecracking but kind-hearted cop whose actions speak larger than words. Over the years, Stallone has occasionally attempted to take on less familiar roles, but Rhinestone and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot would discourage anyone from experimenting too much.
I mean, you're so special. And when you meet someone as special as you should reach out and grab them with both hands.
Cases in point, the 8th and 5th installments of Rocky and Rambo, respectively.
We love you, Rock!
Yeah, I love you too.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.